All right, that's cool. Well, back to Messi. Messi's haircut, beat fade with a side. 2022, he wore a beat fade with a quiff. Yeah, with a quiff. Doesn't really advantage Messi. Like the deal with Messi, I feel like the difference is the 2D and the 3D haircut, right? So what I mean by the 2D and a 3D haircut, it just basically, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but the best way to put it is to compare him with Lamine Yamal, right? So if y'all look at Messi right here, hold on, let me just find a pic. I think I had like a pic with Messi right here. This picture with Messi right here. So basically, Messi right here does not have where is my mouse at? Does not have basically length here, right? And so the fade doesn't really complete his face, right? And the best way to put it is to compare him with Lamine Yamal's, right? Lamine Yamal haircut, similar fade. His hair right here has bulk, right? And Messi, bro, what am I pressing around? And Messi does not have bulk. So what does that mean? Basically, is that it creates so the fade where Messi has it. Messi has a 2D fade and Yamal has a 3D fade. So what does that mean? Is that Messi's fade it looks cleaner, right? It looks fresher, but for maybe 2 3 weeks, in 2 weeks for sure, Messi's haircut is gonna look goofy. Why? Because the parts that are basically blended to zero are gonna basically be covered by a gray area of hair, and this part where Messi does not have hair is gonna look the same length. Like here is the same length, only maybe a few millimeters length. But the difference with Yamal's head is that Yamal could go maybe a month without getting a haircut, but the shape, that's the difference, the shape. Yamal's haircut would basically maintain his head shape for maybe a month and pretty much more, right? So basically Yamal's haircut, the fade is there just to flex basically, right? Because he could go with his head shape forever, right? That's the difference between a 2D and a 3D fade, right? But let's so Cristiano Ronaldo's haircut. Ooh, all right. So mid fade, yeah. So, and here is another thing, right? With Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, right? Cristiano Ronaldo does have a 2D fade, meaning the fade it is elongated and it does look fresh. But the difference is Ronaldo's head shape allows it, right? Ronaldo has basically these bones allowing, basically, people who have these types of hair, they go crazy with buzz cuts, with everything, right? So Cristiano Ronaldo's hair, bro, I'm giving Cristiano Ronaldo a 7, bro. Messi's haircut, I feel like a 7. I have some weird hairline. Oh yeah, so basically, I do have a lot of clients with hairline. Tips wise, minoxidil probably is gonna be the best minoxidil. But how do you treat your hairline? Really depends what kind of haircut you got. So, alright, bro, let's just see the hairline. Bro, hold on, bro. Alright, this is the haircut. So you pretty much got on overgrown. How much time has passed since you got your last haircut, bro? 2 days. 2 days. Okay. Okay. I think you asked for mid fade with maybe a 0.5, right? So what would I do if I was in your position, bro? I feel like you should try a mod cut. And like the phases, you could just start off with maybe letting your hair grow for a month, then try a taper, then maybe try a mid fade. And with a hairline, if you have basically a bad hairline, I recommend you basically minoxidil. And if you're over the age of 18, you should look up onto finasteride or DHT blockers, right? That's basically the root cause, and that's basically it. I get a very oily hair when it grows big. Bro, I had the same problem basically with no matter how often I wash. Yeah, I had basically the same problem. What I basically did to change how oily was my hair was quit shampoos, like basically quit shampoos, and use ketoconazole shampoo. Basically, there are like a lot of things that could cause oily hair, right? But that was the first one. Ketoconazole shampoo as a solution. I really recommend it. And what else? Basically, the way you just dry your hair, maybe let it air dry, maybe let it with like a shirt, and if that doesn't work, then I don't know. You know, as I said with Hakimi, right? Like this applies to Hakimi as well. Basically, Hakimi before had like straight hair, not really, you know, any texture. Not that straight hair is bad, but you know, you could just unknowingly have wavy hair and get a haircut made for straight hair. Like for example, a mid fade with like a lot of length on top, right? Which basically just lets your hair, you know, move on the other side with a lot of length on it. Hold on, clean haircut now. See the texture, bro? Like longer hair. Like that's what I said with Hakim. Yeah, mid fade and a lot of texture. Like that's why longer hair tends to just spread out in its natural form. Like that's why more cuts are a bit more natural than a buzz cut or a normal haircut.